Coco Gauff clarifies comments calling out U.S. tennis fans. Coco Gauff has issued a clarification for her comments calling out U.S. tennis fans for being the worst at supporting American players overseas. Speaking at the United Cup in Australia, the world number 4 said, "I feel like we're definitely, in tennis, the worst. I've always said I wish our country and other places would show up throughout the world as we see smaller countries support, but I also think it's just because our country's good in so many sports, so it's just hard." Gauff, the reigning French Open champion, was the highest-paid female athlete of 2025, earning an estimated $33 million per Forbes. She then took to social media to clarify her comments. "I am going to clarify because people are dragging this out of context. I am not expecting people to travel to tournaments to watch us play. But there are many tournaments that we have in America and abroad where Americans are already attending regardless of who is playing, excluding US Open, where people come and don't really cheer for their countryman player. Whereas those from smaller countries come with their colors and flags and it is clear on who they are supporting. I was just speaking from my perspective. Trust me, I understand the financial aspect of things and no, tennis is not accessible for everyone. It was more of a comment for those who are already attending and how I wish they were as passionate as those from other countries, more specifically team events. People don't owe me anything. I was just honestly answering a question I was asked, and it was simply an observation I noticed about other countries versus mine, that is all. Nevertheless, I am grateful for any support no matter how big or small it is." Taylor Fritz, the top-ranked American man, defended Gauff on social. "People always want to take things in the worst possible way. I was there sitting next to her, and I know exactly what Coco meant and was trying to say, and she's right. There is absolutely no disrespect meant to the US fans at all in this statement. If we were to play Czech or Poland here at United Cup, there will be a massive group of fans going crazy for them. We love the Americans that come out and support. Some other countries abroad just have a really insane sports culture, but we appreciate every single American abroad that comes to watch." More than words. Coco Gauff, U.S. tennis fans, and the power of perspective. Coco Gauff, at just 21 years old, a two-time Grand Slam champion and cultural icon, finds herself in a familiar arena these days. The spotlight, speaking candidly, and sparking conversation, not just about tennis, but about community, identity, and support. Early in her 2026 season, Gauff ignited a lively response from fans and media after remarks about U.S. tennis fans' support overseas were labeled as calling them the worst, comments she soon clarified amid backlash. Forbes +1. But beneath the headlines and social media reactions lies a deeper narrative, one about the beauty and complexity of sports fandom, the pressures faced by elite athletes, and the challenges of speaking honestly in a global spotlight. The context: United Cup, a global stage, and an honest observation. At the United Cup in Perth, Australia, one of tennis international team competitions, Gauff was asked a straightforward question: would the U.S. team have strong fan support abroad? Her initial response was blunt and introspective. "I feel like we're definitely, in tennis, the worst when it comes to that," she said, comparing the visible enthusiasm of fans from smaller countries with the more subdued support she had witnessed for American players outside the United States. Forbes +1. In fairness, this observation didn't come from a vacuum. In global team events, fans from smaller nations, often traveling long distances, proudly wave flags, wear national colors, and create an electrifying atmosphere. When those same sets of passionate supporters appear in stadiums abroad, the contrast with American crowds, especially in sports with massive domestic popularity, can seem striking. TennisUpToDate.com. Gauff's comment was less an attack and more an off-the-cuff reflection, honest, human, and perhaps too raw for viral headlines. Clarifying the statement, taken out of context. Almost immediately, social media lit up with reactions. Some supportive, some defensive, and others deeply critical. In response, Gauff took to her platform to clarify what she meant. First, her clarification highlighted several key points. 1. She was not asking people to travel hundreds or thousands of miles. Gauff made it clear she was not suggesting that American fans should spend money they don't have or undertake major journeys just to watch American players compete. She acknowledged that travel and attending tennis events isn't accessible for everyone. 2. Her comment was specifically about those already present. Her frustration, she explained, came from observing U.S. fans already attending tournaments, whether at home or abroad, who sometimes showed less vocal or visible support than fans of other nations. ESPN.com. 3. It was a personal observation, not a demand. Coco emphasized that she was simply giving her personal perspective, honestly answering a question she was asked. She reiterated her gratitude for every fan, big or small, and said people don't owe her anything. This clarification, grounded in empathy and context, reframed the conversation. Instead of dismissing fans, she invited reflection. How do we support athletes? And how does that support look different across cultures? The reaction: passion, perspective, and misunderstanding. The reaction from fans was mixed, as is often the case with outspoken athletes. Supportive voices. Many of Gauff's peers and commentators defended her, noting she was misunderstood. Taylor Fritz, her United Cup teammate, publicly backed her remarks, saying the reaction was an example of people taking her words in the worst possible way. He pointed out that fans from countries like the Czech Republic or Poland bring a uniquely passionate presence overseas. This response wasn't just about defending a teammate, it was a recognition of how commentary about fandom can easily be misinterpreted without context. Fans weighing in. Meanwhile, fans responded in a wide range of ways. Some agreed with her, saying that American tennis fans, amid the vast popularity of many U.S. sports, may not always bring the same intensity abroad as fans of smaller sports cultures. Others pushed back, pointing out the economic realities of travel, ticket prices, and access, arguing that flying overseas simply isn't feasible for most supporters. Essentially sports. This range of reactions highlights a broader truth about sports fandom. It is deeply personal, tied not only to the sport itself but to cultural experience, access, identity, and emotion. Why this matters, beyond tennis. At its core, this exchange is more than just a headline about fan support. It speaks to several themes in modern sports culture. 1. The athlete's voice. Elite athletes like Coco Gauff no longer speak only through performance. Social media gives them platforms to share their thoughts directly, without traditional media filters. While this can foster connection, it also means every word is scrutinized and amplified. In this landscape, honesty can easily be mistaken for criticism, even when that's not the intent.